this. Not tight because we need to be tensioned all in the right order. Let's get these copper washers. Copper ones go on the inside. Don't think you can see there, I'm just going to move you up. How's that? That's as good as it's going to get, guys, unless you want to hit the light up there. Two steel washers on the outside. And don't forget those little ones down here. Whose idea was it to put these down here? These lived on the inside, they're lovely and oily in a slightly darker colour. I know it might sound daft. Let's stop any disasters happening, eh?
There we go.
Okay, let's get something to clean up this head. Reason for that is, as you can see, there's really no bearing material there other than the, I believe, the aluminium that the cam sits on. So the casing acts as the bearing. Therefore it needs to be clean, because one assumes that the tolerances are pretty small between the head and the rocker cover. So we'll just make sure we're happy with the gaps there. Back in a second. Cellulose thinners, marvellous stuff. Just don't get it in any cuts. Ow. Okay, time to snug down the head. 35 to 40 Newton meters. Usual paranoia creeps in, and tighten them down gradually in a cross pattern. Give it a click. Newton-meters. Double check. There we have it. Now, we've got these other little fiddly nuts and bolts all over the place. Let me check those on Newton meters. 8 to 12, but how I'm going to guess that I don't know, so we'll just tighten them down, but not too tight, if I can find my 10mm spanner. Okay. I reckon that's a click. Yep. Hang on, Mark, go the right way. Always confuses me when it's upside down. It's upside down and the wrong way round. Even worse. There we go. I don't want to go too tight. That'll do. We're getting there. Okay. Next stage is we've got to put all the camshaft and the chain and make sure everything is all aligned. You've got to start by making sure this little mark T is aligned with that little mark, and whilst you're moving it around, absolutely make sure that you're holding the chain up, otherwise it'll get caught down in the bottom gears and you don't want that. So I've done that, that's aligned, cam chain is in the right place, so let's put you back on the table. So it's all about this. Let's give it a quick clean up. Now if you remember rightly, we talked about this being a bearing surface just here. So what we're going to do is make sure it's well lubricated. Let some oil go down. That little sump is for oil. Everybody happy? Yeah. So before we do this, what I'm also going to do is put a very, very thin layer of sealant just along this edge, so it's oil tight. That's what I'm using. It's oil proof, which is what we need. So so it doesn't break down when oil gets in contact with it. Okay, here we go. The reason this has got to be thin is because the tolerances here are very small to support the bearings as it's flying around in there. Now, no, we're just going to have to be careful, you won't be able to see otherwise. Stops the cam from moving from side to side. See the way those cams pick up oil as they go through that little sump? That's what's lubricating it. Put a locating pin just there. This is another more hands required situation. Okay, that's not going to go anywhere now. And it locates on that little dowel. Now I'm going to check the alignments, because before we offer the cam chain up to this cog, we've got to make sure everything's in the right position. So I'm just going to go on the internet and make sure we got that bit right. Back in a minute. Okay, after faffing about a bit on the internet, I've got the answer. And the answer is there are two little marks there. I don't know if you can see those. Let's hone in a bit. Other way perhaps. No, that way. Hopefully you can see that. It's not focusing. There we go. Okay. Two little marks that are actually on the end of the cam, and they have to align with the top edge. So what we need to do is get that aligned, and then somehow, hopefully the chain, and I don't know how, it's going to lift up and go in that little locating pin just there. That's being a bit of a pig, which is unusual because the tensioners theoretically not taut at the moment. So let me work on that and come back to you. Just look, I'm playing with the tensioner there. I don't for 1 minute think it's going to go over there. Easily. Back once I've figured it out. This is turning out to be a bit of a pig of a job, but we'll get there. What do you mean you nearly caught the house on fire? Yeah. Oh dear. That's what happens when you get a bit old. You forget you got things on the oven. Well, that threw me again. Oh God, here we go. Come on, you can do it. Line up. You know you want to. This is what you're designed for. And it's going to be a pig again, isn't it? Yep. Why? Tension is not in, so it's not that. Don't go away. I didn't really want to do it that way, but we have, and I'll tell you what, it's flown off again. Come on. Yes. Yes. That fell out the back. That connects the starter motor. And that's not going to be an issue. We can put that in easily. Wish everything was that easy. Okay. That. Theory. Let's see how we line up, shall we? No graunching noises, I like that. Okay. That's pretty good. It's very difficult to get a manual. Can you see that? There's a funny little picture there and I doubt you better pick it up. And that says pin with the two lineups. And I'll tell you what, I think the pin's in the right place. So we'll go with that. What's the worst that can happen? Bang. Off camera this is taking forever, having to read it up and sort it out. So I might be due a cup of tea in a minute. But let's just get this on, eh? Without throwing yet something else into the engine. Not sure I'm going to admit to what happened earlier. Perhaps you can guess. Out of 10, I reckon. You see, that'll do for now. I'll tell you what, let's just tighten it up a little bit more. Yeah, we can still move that. Sounds like decent compression, doesn't it? Stop. Ram those down just to make sure they don't go anywhere. They're a bit munted, aren't they? Is that a word I'm allowed to use? Anyway, I'll hammer those down in a second. We'll get a cup of tea now. Good. Right then. Let's get this top ready. A little bit of this has come off because of all the faffing with the chain and gear and cam. Come on. Right, so we're all cleaned up and ready to go. That should just hopefully go straight on, because if we've done it right, we're on top dead centre. Oh yeah. We know we are because we can hear those loose. Put that back on. Remember right at the beginning we put all our nuts on this little, or bolts rather, on this little thing here, so we know exactly what goes where. That's a theory anyway. We'll soon find out, eh? I'll be back when I've got the Newton meter readings. 10 Newton meters. Just going to do it gradually as we go. Okay, let's do a round. Right, so before we adjust the valves, let's put the tensioner back on. Simple procedure if I can find the right screwdriver. Do you know we're so damn professional. There is a gasket on there. Screwdriver in, and you'll notice that as I turn the screwdriver, it offers up to the engine block. So there is no tension at the moment. And when we release it, if I can get these in,
is it okay to interrupt the man at work and give you a cup of tea?
Tea up.
There we are.
Thank you.
Behind every good man is a good woman. I'm an angel. I heard that.
What, did you hear? There we go. Right, valves. Well, I'll tell you what, should we all have a cup of tea first? Can you see when you get back from your tea? Yeah, just about. Okay, valves. This is the exhaust valve. Obviously every motorcycle has a different setting. I've got the right settings here for the Suzuki GN250. So what we're going to do, I've just loosened these. You won't be able to see a lot. I can only apologise for that. 9mm. And what we're looking for is a little bit of drag. Too tight. Feels about right to me. I'm going to get some smaller pliers on it. See, no tapping noise. Yeah, a little bit of drag. Can't hear a tap. Right, let's just button this up. Earlier time, Strong magnets again, so it might feel peculiar. Whoa. Just make sure that's in the right spot. Okay. Alright, that's it for now. Next job, putting it in the bike.